The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Good morning and welcome to the Benjamin Dixon Morning Show. It is Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Thank you so much for joining us, and wherever you're watching us, streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you are, especially to those of us watching us on act.tv, where they encourage you to do more than watch. They want you to act. Joining us this morning for this Movement Mondays, this Action Mondays, as always, is Sabrina Williams. She is the Chief Operating Officer at act.tv. Thank you so much for joining us again on this Monday morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
I know it has been a busy week and a busy weekend at act.tv. There's so many petition drives. There's so many campaigns. We didn't get a chance to meet last week, but we're here now. Could you just give us an update on some of the actions that are taking place and some of the things that act.tv is taking the charge on?
Yeah, Ben, I want to talk about stuff we did a few weeks ago, particularly around tax day, which was, I believe, Monday, April 18th, if my memory serves me correct. It was a day that, the majority of us Americans paid our taxes and did our part to support our communities, to support transportation, education, public access to healthcare, on and on and on. But, who didn't pay taxes was often very wealthy people, billionaires. So we supported a lot of our partners, did a number of tax day live streams, and I want to talk about those. And we have some great petitions and lots going on with our membership program. And want to let everyone know about that today.
No, absolutely. And again, you can go to act.tv/join. And I'm encouraging all of our supporters, those of us who watch the Benjamin Dixon Morning Show, to go and contribute. Give your email address so that you can get updates, that you can get newsletters and be informed. One of the things, Sabrina, I loved about becoming a partner with act.tv was the inside look. Because it's not really inside access that you all have so much as you have an intentional inside look at the mechanisms of what's happening in Washington, D.C., which is why I know you all are so active on the petition drives. But it's really important that people have an inside view of what's happening, particularly from the progressive perspective. And that really is something that I am excited about partnering with you all. So I'll let you lead the way. Let's start with tax day, because as we know, so many billionaires don't pay as much as their secretaries as a matter of percentages. So what was act.tv helping out with on that week?
Oh, wow. We did a number of really fun, educational, informative streams with our partners that will incent you and anger you and hopefully inspire you to take action. So we had some partners who we partnered with, and they put on an amazing live stream called It's Tax Day, #PayWhatYouOwe. And you heard a number of speakers and activists talking about how, the U.S. is the richest country in the world. We have the money. We have the money right here in this country. Some of it might be offshore, but we have the money for people to pay taxes to fund libraries, parks, public schools, public colleges and universities, all of the associated scholarships that taxes support, health care for people who can't afford it, roads, law enforcement, public transportation, salaries for our government employees who make it all happen, who keep us safe, right? Make sure our food, our drugs, our everything is safe. That is where our tax dollars go. We pay our fair share. It's time for the rich people to pay their fair share.
Absolutely. And Sabrina, what's so frustrating about that is the fact that it's so burdensome for small business owners, for just the average American to even keep up with their taxes, to pay their taxes, to go through the process. And yet we don't have at our disposal all of the lawyers and accountants to help us. And so it just becomes like a double whammy. Not only do we have to pay as the average citizen or as the average business owner, we have to pay out, but we have to do so by giving so much of our time. I think I saw it takes the average American 30 hours to do their taxes each year. So we're doing labor on top of giving away our money. But the rich, they simply don't have that burden, do they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They, it's kind of this whole systemic effect, right? Where they start off, buying politicians who will pass these tax laws that benefit them, this small segment, this small wealthy segment of society, and not poor and middle class people. I would even argue that often don't help millionaires quite as much. So we're really talking about the wealthiest people in society, right? And so they get these laws passed, and then they end up paying less and less and less money, sometimes zero, because of all these tax loopholes. And at the end of the day, when we keep voting for these politicians who represent millionaires and billionaires and not poor and middle class people, we're voting against ourselves. We're voting against our public schools. We're voting against, new roads in our communities. We're voting against amazing public parks. We're voting against, having well-paid public servants to be able to do what they need to do. Fire, rescue, EMS, police officers, social workers who work for the state, on and on and on. These are all public goods that keep our society function smoothly. This is part of the social safety net that we all pay into so that we can all benefit from. And billionaires will often say, well, I create jobs, but at the end of the day, your products, you drive your trucks on roads to deliver your goods and services to whoever. You didn't pay for those roads.
That's right. Tax
dollars pay for those roads. You hire people. Where did these people get educated? In public colleges and universities. Public colleges and universities, tuition is subsidized by taxpayer dollars. These people often went to K through 12 schools, right? Paid for by taxpayer dollars. You're often getting tax breaks in the jurisdiction that you set up your corporate headquarters in. Tax breaks that who paid for? The public. So at the end of the day, let's not vote for, politicians who have billionaires back. They don't need anyone to have their back. We need people to have our back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Act TV also broadcasts the pursuit of happiness. And this most recent episode, they were comparing how easy, or rather how difficult it is to file taxes here in the United States, something I was just thinking about. Tell us about that particular broadcast and Act TV's coverage there.
Yeah, I wish Jocelyn was on today. She is, the host, and her show is called The Pursuit of Happiness. You can go to act.tv and find out when she is in our lineup, when The Pursuit of Happiness is in the lineup. I believe it's Wednesdays at 3 p.m. every week, and maybe one other time per week. Anyway, last week she had on guest T.R. Reid. He is the author of A Fine Mess. And what this amazing, intelligent, insightful, and innovative man did is he went around the world trying to file his taxes. And or working with people who lived in the country, citizens of the countries, to file taxes, to figure out how difficult is it in Singapore and China and Malaysia and India and Nepal. How difficult is it to file taxes? And what he found was the U.S. has the most difficult system. In many countries, the government files your taxes for you. You get a form from the government, say about your car registration or some type of money you owe, and it'll say, hey, you last paid this bill in 2015, now it's 2022, and you owe $500, and they tell you what you owe. Well, in a lot of countries, that's how taxes work. They send you a form and it says, look, we know last year you made this much and you paid this much, and here's your refund. And if you agree, sign, and we'll get you the money within a few days. Or you owe, another $200. And if you disagree, you fill this form and we'll do an audit or whatever, and you sign it. They do your taxes for you, and it's you just agreeing or disagreeing, and it all works out, and people are excited. And the point is, it's easy. There's fewer loopholes, if any, for billionaires to hoard their wealth, and it all works out. So read the book, A Fine Mess. But Jocelyn had him on, and she also talked about how H&R Block and Intuit have these lobbies that, they're against a simplified government, form of taxation, right? They, Intuit and H&R Block, benefit when taxes are difficult and you have to pay $50, $100, $300 to have them help you with your taxes, or for you to have access to their platform and software. And it's beneficial for them. It's terrible for the majority of Americans. And it's just not a good and efficient model of taxing your populace. It's just not.
That's so frustrating. Just listening to that, I'm definitely going to check out that particular episode, The Pursuit of Happiness. And this is just some of the coverage, right? Act TV, you all provide significant coverage from the progressive perspective. There's just so many things that Act TV provides in that context. Tell us a little bit more about the membership drive, the campaigns. Just tell us about where our supporters can go to support the rest of the programming happening at Act TV.
Yes, absolutely. So Act TV, we have a membership program. If you go to act.tv/join, you can sign up today to be a member. When you sign up to be a member, you are supporting the progressive movement. You are supporting activists just like me, just like you, just like all the activists you see almost every day on our live streams and on our content that we push out on social media. When you become a member of Act TV, you stay abreast of what we're doing with our partners, and you can figure out how you can get involved. We are creating a progressive movement that empowers the left. We cover important content. No one else is doing what we are doing. You're not going to see the types of in-depth coverage that we do on the nightly news. You're not going to see it on your Sunday morning programs. If they even talk about some of these important issues, it's 10 and 20-second sound bites. It's not 1, 2, and 4 hour live streams. So sign up, act.tv/join, become a member. If you have an extra $10, $20, $100, sign up to become a patron. 100% of your money goes to support our work, to send our field producers into the field to cover these rallies and these protests and these actions by progressive activists on the left. They go to support our producers who bring you these amazing virtual live streams with our partners about just a vast array of issues, from reproductive justice to climate change to taxes to, tax the rich, fair wages and livable wages, on and on and on. Education, canceling student debt. These are really, really, really important issues. And when you sign up, you'll get a newsletter every week. And so act.tv/join, sign up, be a member, come join us.
As I'm looking at the different programs that Act TV is involved with, the next one is really near and dear to me, the Iranian nuclear deal. And when we pulled out as a nation underneath Donald Trump, Sabrina, that was a really significant flashpoint on the international stage. And I'm really excited to see Act TV stepping in there, discussing how we can win without war. Tell us about that campaign.
Yeah, so we can't take all the credit, as is usual. Like most things that get done in society, it's a partnership, it's a collaboration, it's a community. We have amazing partners at Win Without War, and we help put on a live stream. We help them put on a live stream called "How Can You Stop a War with Iran?" And you know how you stop a war with Iran? We had leading experts on talking about how we can re-enter the Iran nuclear deal, how we can re-enter the Iran nuclear deal and roll back Trump's disastrous foreign policies, particularly as they relate to Iran. You can follow the hashtag reseal the deal. Let's reseal the deal with Iran, and let's get back on the path to peace. Nuclear weapons are a lose situation for everyone. They are a lose-lose situation for the countries that have nuclear weapons, and that includes the United States. They are a lose-lose for the environment, for the planet, for everyone. They do not increase peace. The more weapons people have, the more they want to use it, the more countries go around bullying each other. Matt Duss was on. He's Bernie's foreign policy advisor. He said something really amazing on the stream. He said, before we even end war, can we end the mindset that leads to war, right? We especially in the United States, we've got to get out of this, military industrial complex mindset. And I don't want to say that most of, Americans, I think we go along with what our elected leaders want, but let's elect leaders that don't subscribe to the military industrial complex, and that war is the answer to everything. If our goal is peace and a more secure America, war is not the answer. Ronna Epting, the executive director of Move On, was also on that panel. the Stop War with Iran panel. And she said, it's not in any of our interest to engage in war. Don't let anyone fool you. I don't care if the war is in another continent with people you've never seen before, you don't speak their language. War impacts you. It impacts the planet. It impacts you. Refugees have to go somewhere. It destroys economies. And guess what? The economy is global now. Often, it either empowers a global bully or it disempowers a free and, thriving nation that should be, proliferating and becoming strong. But instead, we're allowing, global military bullies to crush these countries. At the end of the day, war doesn't benefit anyone. The majority of Americans support the U.S. getting back into the Iran deal, something like over 60%. So let's reseal the deal. You can watch that live stream on act.tv or Win Without War, how you can stop a war without Iran.
That is so important. I can't stress enough, simply because of how reckless it was for Donald Trump to pull us out of that in the first place. Completely reckless. And, as to what the different guests were saying about the mindset that leads to war, I think that's the clearest difference of Act TV, compared to mainstream media. If you look at the commercial breaks for mainstream media, you can see why there is a mindset from war here in this country, because there's so much of our media that is literally funded by defense contractors. You can't watch a half hour of mainstream television and not catch several defense contractor commercials. And they're not going to find anything like that on Act TV. But not only that, you're pushing back against the narrative of war is just something that we're not seeing in our media enough today.
You're right. War is a drain on humanity in so many ways. It takes often, young men and women who have not fully invested in themselves and their lives, takes them and puts them often in foreign lands. It corrupts their minds as to who is the real enemy. Often our soldiers come back with complex PTSD and other mental health issues. That doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? They're coming home to families, to husbands, to wives, to children. And so those mental health issues are often perpetuated for generations, right? And that's just one thing, like I said, the economic damage, the damage to the environment, not just locally, right? Many of these nuclear weapons, the impact environmentally doesn't just stay within like a 20-mile radius. Water flows globally. Air it moves all around from continent to continent. These have, really wide-reaching impact, and it impacts all of us. War is not in any of our best interests. And it's what we can do, though, to act is to contact your elected officials. Well, first of all, I always say, vote for the elected officials who reflect your values. And if your values are not war, which we hope they are, then elect anti-war politicians. And then when things like, re-entering the Iran deal come up, contact them and say, listen, I'm holding you accountable. Your campaign promises said you're going to be anti-war. I expect you to, vote for, the United States to reseal the deal with Iran. Okay. And let's hold people accountable. So there definitely are tangible things that you can do to prevent war in this country and prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons across the globe.
Absolutely. It is hashtag stop the war with Iran. I mean, this is so critical. And I'm excited to be partnering with you as you all are partnering with others. Sabrina, what else do we have on the docket? Because I know Act TV has been busy with all of the partners standing on the front lines of so many different issues.
Oh gosh, what else do we talk about? So one of the things I want to talk about, we have an amazing partnership with Laura Packard of Healthcare Voices. Last week, she talked about healthcare and our tax system. And, again, I know we've talked a lot about tax on this show, but, for people who don't have employer-sponsored healthcare, for people who cannot afford to buy healthcare on the open market, who may be unemployed, whatever their issue is, we need our public healthcare systems and public health insurance systems funded, right? And the funding comes from tax dollars. Middle-class people and poor people who pay taxes, we can only do but so much. We need corporations and we need wealthy people to pay their taxes. They have amazing insurance. Even our elected officials have amazing insurance. Their health insurance is a right. Health coverage is a right. Health care is a right. There's no reason why everyone in this country should not have appropriate health care. There's absolutely no reason. Right. So anyway, on our show within the past week or two, Care Talk with Laura Packard, healthcare and our tax system. If you want to understand a little bit more about how when billionaires and wealthy people don't pay into the tax system, the impact on healthcare, you can go to act.tv on Facebook. You can watch us on Twitter, and you can watch Laura's entire show, Healthcare on the Tax System, and understand how when billionaires don't pay their taxes, it impacts you. And even if you have healthcare, there's probably someone living in your community, at least one person who doesn't have healthcare. And you know what? When they get sick, when their child gets sick because they couldn't afford healthcare, and gets your child sick, gets other people sick, when they rack up $1 million bill because they couldn't afford to have preventative care, and now they have to have this very expensive heart surgery or kidney transplant, you know who pays for that? You do. It's in everyone's best interest for everyone to have healthcare.
It's right there in front of us. It's so simple. And I think that sometimes people don't see it because they don't want to see it, Sabrina. Between all of the petitions, all of the different shows that Act.tv is sponsoring, the different partnerships, the live streams, the actions, that's all the more reason for everyone to support this. And it's not even just financial support. Financial support is the second part. The first part is to join the list. When we say go to act.tv/join, you'll be joining the email list where you will find out more information about all of these different activities. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, after that, after they have joined the email list and become a member, then they can make the decision whether or not they want to become a paid patron to Act.tv. Do I have that order correct?
That is correct. That is correct. So you go to act.tv/join, sign up and become a member. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Put your email address in. We will not spam you. Believe me. We don't, people on the left, we don't spam people. We will not spam you. We will send you 1 to 2 emails a week. One will be a weekly newsletter about all of the amazing actions that we're covering, all of the amazing things that we're doing. We will send you another one about, various different topics in the news cycle, whether it's stopping war profiteering, canceling student debt, right. Things about marijuana reform, climate change, on and on and on. So you will get valuable information from us. You will get, access to petitions. We will send you petition links. Add your name. They make a difference. I've talked about this on previous shows. Your name on a petition makes a huge, huge difference to the people that see it, the elected officials, the corporations, et cetera. And we've had some wins at Act.tv with petitions. But so sign up to become a member. Like I said, if you enjoy our work and you want to see it continue, think about becoming a patron. A patron is a paid member. And with that, you get a few special benefits. We will have we will have occasional events just for our patrons. I'm actually thinking of a really exciting event later, probably in the summer or the fall. Our patrons will get details about that, hopefully in the near future. But so there's some special benefits to becoming a patron. And like I said, 100% of your money goes to supporting Act.tv's very, very, very important work. No one else is doing this work. If we're not here, where will you see a whole live stream about resealing the deal and getting back into the Iran, anti-nuclear, weapons deal? Where will you see a live stream all about how billionaires need to pay their taxes, about, climate change or reproductive justice or what have you? These are really important things. Again, support Act.tv. At the end of the day, when you support Act.tv, you're supporting yourself. You're supporting the issues that matter to you. So Act.tv/join and join us.
Sabrina Williams, Chief Operating Officer of Act.tv. I always enjoy these Mondays so that then we can not only catch up, but see what's ahead for the progressive movement. And thanks a lot to all of you over there at Act.tv.
Thank you. Thank
you. We
look
forward to being with you next week. The pleasure is definitely ours. Stay tuned in. We'll be back with more of the Benjamin Dixon Morning Show right after this.